Good evening. And this is Joel on the second evening of our class in the new dimension, Christ. You asked why the evils of this world, why the sins, diseases, deaths in this world. And you seek a way out. You seek freedom, joy, peace, power, dominion. The world seeks this and doesn't find it. The world seeks it by might and by power. Physical might, mental power. The Master revealed that if you live by the sword, you will die by the sword. Whatever it is in which you place your faith, that you must expect to have power and dominion over you. The sword is always double-edged. If it will cut one way, it will cut another. The discords and the inharmonies of human existence come because we do not know our true identity. That is the one and only reason for all of the world's discords. This lack of understanding of our true identity has set up a sense of separation between ourselves and God. And this sense of separation separates us from our good. In the human picture, it would be as if you were separated, or believed yourself to be separated, or forgot your possession of your bank account, and then suffered from lack or limitation. Whereas the realization or remembrance of the possession of that bank account would again restore harmony in your economic affairs. Or it may be that your child, for one reason or another, accepts the belief that it has lost its parents, that they are nowhere about, and that it must shift for itself, and then begins its wanderings, its efforts to achieve. Whereas the remembrance of its home and parents would again reestablish it in its harmony. We have this so well revealed in the story of the prodigal son. The son had everything. He was the son of a rich man. A wonderful home, wonderful parents, wonderful friends, wonderful position in life. And then comes this sense of separation that sends him out into the world to achieve something on his own, probably the desire to be something of himself. And in a short while he uses up his substance. He uses up the bread that has been stored up, the supply that has been stored up, but which is now not renewing itself because it no longer has contact with its source, his Father's house. And at the end of the road comes this realization that even the servants are better off than he. And then begins the return to the Father's house, but while yet a long way off, the Father comes out to greet him and reestablish him in the home, in the sonship, in the heirhood, and all is well again. Why? Just because of the return to the Father's house, to the Father's consciousness. Human beings are prodigals. The fall of man really is the sense of separation from God. It is the descent from divine consciousness to the belief of a selfhood apart from God, to the acceptance of a selfhood apart from God. Whereas the return to the Father's house is but a remembrance that our selfhood is God. God is our selfhood. God is our true identity and our true being. First, for us, must come the return of our prodigal sense of existence to the consciousness of our fatherhood, of our divinity, of the Godhood which we really are. In doing this, we are a small group of people set aside in the world, and for this reason we dare not speak. We may only show forth the fruitage of our discovery in demonstration. Should we say to our relatives or our friends, you know, I have discovered that I am the Son of God, I am the Christ. Do not be surprised if the world treats you harshly. It did so with Moses, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Isaiah, Elijah, Elisha, Jesus, John, Paul. Don't you know that all of these people revealed our true identity as God being? As God being you and God being me? You know the penalty they paid in the public mind? Of course, they didn't mind that. They were used to persecution and ridicule, but they thought it worthwhile in order to reveal it to the world. But from their experience we have learned this. There's a better way, a much better way than accepting persecution and execution for our faith and our belief, and that way is to show forth by our experience what our discovery has revealed, so that instead of our going out into the world and saying, look what I have discovered, we sit at home and go about our business, and our neighbors see that we have no fears, we have no doubts, we have less of sin, less of sickness, less of discord, more of joy, more of happiness, more of prosperity, more of the joy of the Spirit, and one by one the neighbors come, the friends, the relatives, and say, you have something, I want some of that. And then, very slowly, very gently, we feed them with a hidden manna. We feed them the meat that the world knows not. We share with them this water of life. We do not become prodigal in giving it away. We become, at first, very miserly. We just give it out in drops and bits, so that our friends and relatives may not get indigestion, may taste of it, like it, and come back for more. You may be assured of this, that all the truth that is in the world could be given to the world in a capsule form. Just a little bit of it would raise the world into eternal harmony. But just as you have not been able to accept it in one lump, just as it has taken me years and years and years to digest it, even after I was ready and eager to seek it and search for it and find it, so you must remember that the rest of the world will be terribly shocked at the full revelation of truth and would reject it, because truth is the very opposite of what the world calls common sense. Truth is the very opposite of what the world calls spiritual wisdom. And so, for us, there comes the necessity of first desiring truth, seeking truth, but that you have already fulfilled. You have desired it, you have sought it, you have studied, you have meditated, you have pondered, you have attended lectures and classes, you have done everything within your power. More you couldn't do. You have done everything in your power to open yourselves to truth. And so gradually you have been fitting yourselves for a further and a higher unfoldment of it, and we will have it here this week. But now you must learn wisdom. With all you're getting, get understanding. And above all, get the understanding that although the world is crying out for safety and security and peace and health, the world will not accept it from your standpoint. The world will accept peace if it can get it on the human level of existence. It will accept supply if it will come about in the way in which they are accustomed to having it. They will accept health if you can give it to them in a pill or a powder or a plaster. But the moment that you speak of a new dimension, spirit, soul, God, you will find it gets very, very busy with the marketing or the business at hand or the next television show. And so, this I caution you. Be very sparing in your impartation of truth, except to those who prove themselves to be very hungry for it and very thirsty. Do not give to those who are already full physical meat and physical drink. Do not give of the spiritual water of life to those who are not spiritually thirsty. Do not give of this hidden manna, of this wonderful meat that the world knows not of. Do not give that, except where you find a hunger for truth, not merely a hunger for a healing, not merely a hunger or a thirst for more supply, but a hunger and a thirst for truth, for spirit, for God. Then you will find receptivity and responsiveness. There's only one reason that you are receptive and responsive to this message. There is only one reason that you could be in an infinite way closed class, and that is because by what you have already done in the way of seeking truth, searching for truth, what you have already done to show that your anxiety was not merely for a little better health or a lot better health or a little better supply or a lot better, but that actually you were willing for these to come to you through the greater desire that you had for God. That is why you are able to accept whatever of truth is revealed, because you are sitting here not listening for more words of truth or wisdom, but rather for a revelation of God within your own soul, for an unfoldment of your own spiritual identity. You know by now, long before you came here, that this would be a spiritual message and a revelation of spiritual presence and power and being. That is why you came. That is why you can receive and accept that which will be revealed. Again, I caution you. Give it out sparingly, but imbibe it freely yourself. Bring yourself through demonstration to that place where your relative or friend or neighbor will come to you eagerly and say, please, please reveal to me what you have. I see the fruitage of it in you. I see the divine grace. I see the joy in your face. I see that you are not afraid of the world. I see that you have not been hanging on the radio all day wondering what the Republican Party is going to do to your life from now on. I see that you have not lived at the television all day today. I see that. Why? Why are you so free from fear? Why are you enjoying so much of life? Why? We all seem to be in terror of things to come. We seem to feel that disaster is around the corner, or inflation, or deflation, or depression, or war, or maybe even the stoppage of war with all of its stoppage of work and wages. You don't have that. You go your way serenely, peacefully, each day living by itself. How do you do that? Why do you do that? And when by your very life you are showing forth the fruits of the Spirit, then only can you share with no fear of persecution, no fear that it will be thrown back in your face, no fear that you will earn the world's hatred, because only those will come to you who have recognized what you have, and they will gladly accept it. We no longer hope or expect that the entire world at one gulp will become spiritual. We know that it would be a great blessing if 75 people in this room began to show forth in some measure the fruits of the Spirit And one by one, over the next year, 1 or 2 or 3 people in a month should be led by you to the realization of spirit. Just think, at the end of a year, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 people will have found some measure of true being, of real peace, just by our example. If that happens in this city, and the same in another, and the same in another, then we can look forward gradually to man's receptivity to truth. And we are in no hurry to save the world. We would gladly save it overnight if it could be saved. But because it cannot be saved by pumping truth into it, let them come and imbibe truth from us. But only when our lives testify to what we have discovered, not when our lips tell people words of truth that they can readily see we are not demonstrating. Oh, it is so much more wonderful to say nothing about truth, never to mention it, never to talk about it, never to let anybody know that we are truth students, never to let anyone know what we have discovered, until they themselves come and ask. And then you'll be surprised at the readiness to accept. Many times I'm asked in cities, why are so few men interested in truth? And my answer is always the same. They would be if they saw the fruitage of their wives' study. If only their wives were showing forth more of the Spirit, more of peace and love and life and gentleness and confidence and hope, the men would eat it up and drink it up, because they are seeking it even more than women are. They need it more. They're out in the business world where every type of, we'll call it hardship, faces them, more so than the wife in the home. And men want it. Men need it. Men require it. And wherever men see the fruitage of it, they follow after it. That is why in our work we have quite a large percentage of married couples in our work. And usually it is because the wife has discovered it first, and by its fruitage and her experience, the husband becomes curious and then follows suit. But this I say to you, ours is a new dimension. We do not seek the world. We just abide at the center of our own being, demonstrate the glory of God, and let the world come to us and seek it of us. Revelation, 2nd chapter, 17th verse. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man knoweth, saving he that receiveth it. He that hath an ear, he that hath an inner ear, he that hath a spiritual ear, he that can hear now what isn't audible, let him hear. Let him hear what the Spirit says. Not what I say, not what the books say, not what you would like to say to your neighbor, but what the Spirit saith. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna. You know that the whole import of the message of the infinite way could well be summed up in that term, hidden manna. Hidden manna. It is like that other wonderful, wonderful statement of the Master's. My peace I give unto you. My peace. Not as the world giveth. Oh, no. Not physical health or physical wealth. Not a home or an automobile. Not anything that the world giveth. My peace I give. My peace. Have you ever stopped to realize, oh, you must have in the reading of the Infinite Ray literature, that this my peace is something that the world wouldn't know if it saw it, and wouldn't realize if it experienced it. My peace. A peace that comes not because the body is healthy or the purse is wealthy, not because the home is happy, prosperous, joyous. No. My peace is a state of peace that is experienced within regardless of outside conditions, and which ultimately changes the outside conditions. Now, here you have a hidden mystery. Peace, such as the world gives, comes to you because of an external circumstance or condition. You have some more health, or you have some more wealth, or you have some more home, or you have some more vacation, and that induces a state of peace. But my peace is different than that. My peace comes from a hidden spring within. And when it comes, it produces more health, more wealth, more harmony, more joy, more joyous relationships. You follow this? Instead of you receiving joy from an external condition or circumstance, you first receive my joy, my peace, and then it changes the outer circumstance. And why is this important? Because the health, the wealth, the good that comes to you from the external today may be taken from you tomorrow. And if it is, where is your joy now? Where is your peace now? Where is your contentment now? But if the peace comes first, the spiritual peace of my kingdom, my peace, and it operates out into the world, the good that it brings will never leave you. This kingdom endureth forever. My kingdom endureth forever. God's kingdom endureth forever. God's peace. Now remember, that's a peace that is not dependent on something good happening outside. God's peace is an inflow and an outflow from within our own being. And so it never was dependent on anything. It was self-created, self-maintained, self-sustained, and then it flows out into your world, and it removes the inharmonies and discords of your experience. But because this peace was not induced by an external thing, it is an eternal being, presence, power, and it goes on forever and forever and forever, maintaining the straight way before you, maintaining harmony, wholeness, good. In other words, the peace that is realized within us, the peace that was never dependent on an external circumstance, will forever establish harmony in your outer world. Now this is the hidden manna. This is the meat that the Master referred to when he said, no, don't go to the city to get me meat. I have meat that ye know not of. That was the hidden meat, the spiritual meat. That was also the bread he referred to, the supply, the substance. When he said we do not live by bread alone, out of bread, out of circumstances, out of peace, but by my peace, my meat, my water, my kingdom endureth forever. And so you see that as the world seeks peace, harmony, wholeness, contentment, it is seeking it from something that it first must acquire on the outer realm. And of course it may even enjoy that peace and prosperity and contentment while that circumstance or condition remains, but usually we lose satisfaction from that which we have gained in the outer, as if it were a toy, and now we look around for a new toy. Well, to him that overcometh, more especially overcometh that desire to seek, to search in the outer realm, will I give to eat of the hidden manna. Manna is food, the hidden food, the inner food. My peace give I unto you. And will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man knoweth, saving he that receiveth it. What is that name? Christ. No more are you Jones or Brown or Smith. No more are you man whose breath is in his nostrils. No more are you a man seeking good. No more are you a prodigal, separate and apart from the Father's house. Now the name is Christ. Is there anything for Christ to receive? Or is Christ that which feeds the multitude and heals the multitude? Christ is that which feeds and heals and satisfies. Christ is that which restores, resurrects. Christ is that which is in and of itself the kingdom of all harmony. A new name you receive, no longer man. You wouldn't want to really go out from here tonight, would you, and tell your friends that you are Christ? No. Don't ever do that. Don't ever voice such things as I am God, or I am spiritual, or I am Christ, or I am the Son of God. Don't ever do that. That wouldn't be true. That would be just the same as going around and saying, I am honest, I am moral, I am good. Have you ever done that? No, you couldn't do that, could you? And if you did, I'm afraid our neighbors would suspect us. And so they would have every right to suspect us if we ever said, I am Christ. There was only once or twice when the Master revealed his identity. He was very, very careful about that. Oh yes, even when it was said to him that he was King of the Jews, he said, thou hast said it. I didn't say it. You said it. Now you can, if you like, remain man whose breath is in his nostril. You can, if you like, continue your search for God, your search for good, your search for supply, your search for eternality, for immortality. You can continue your search for peace and Sometime or other, you may stumble upon it, you may find it, you may be brought to it, or you can give up your search tonight. You can give up your desire for good tonight. You can give up all expectation of good tonight, and you can rest back in the hidden manna in your new name, in your divine sonship. The prodigal came home and received the gown, the purple robe, the ring, the jewels, because of his sonship. We can do likewise. We can return to the Father's house tonight, and even while you are quite a distance away from the realization of it, the Father is on the way out to meet you down the road right now and place upon your shoulders that purple robe of divinity, that jeweled ring of dominion, spiritual dominion over the earth and all that is therein, over the sea, over the air, the skies, that ring which denotes authority, spiritual authority. A new stone, a new gem with a new name, divine sonship. If you accept that, you will sit back and rest, and you will let your good come to you. No longer will you jump all over the city looking for apartments or homes. No longer will you go from shop to shop to find that dress or suit. No longer will you waste your time and energy in searching for things or persons, but you will rest in the realization of your divine sonship, and let your good unfold. Let it come to you, and even beyond that, realize this: it never will come to you from outside your own being. It must unfold to you from within your being. It is as erroneous for us to expect our good to come to us as it is to go out now searching for truth or God or peace. Now, our expectancy is that the hidden manna, the hidden meat, we can share with those not yet aware of their new name. Now comes the place when you abide in your sonship and say, "Come to me," oh, but silently, not on the street corner, not to the neighbors, silently, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. I will give you peace. I will feed you. I will give you living waters. I will share with you this hidden manna." Now we know where all supply is. It is hidden within you. It cannot come to you now. It must flow out from you to the world. As a prodigal, you were out in the world seeking, working, striving, getting. As the divine Son, the world came to you to share in the riches which were yours by inheritance. A new name, a new word now, inheritance. Inheritance. Not by might, nor by power, but as children of God, we are heirs of God, and heirs of God are joint heirs with Christ to all the heavenly riches. Think now of what picture you would have if you read of Jesus doing some mental work or praying for help or supply for himself. And it just doesn't ring true, does it? But that was because of his awareness of his divine sonship. Was there any other reason that Jesus could heal and supply except his awareness of his true identity? Who do men say that I am? Who do ye say that I am? Well, I already know who I am. That was his attitude. But now, what does the world say about it? And what do you say about it? Oh, Peter reveals, thou art the Christ. Yes, I know it all the time, and now God has revealed it to you. And because the Master knew his true identity, his divine sonship, the divinity of his own being, he knew that he could share all that the Father had. Son, all that I have is thine. And Jesus knew himself to be the Son of God, the divine Son. And therefore he knew that all that the Father had was his, and he could share that with the world, whether healing, regenerating, reforming, restoring, resurrecting, supplying. If it was of the Father, he as a Son could dispense it. There was no need for him to receive it. There was no way for him to receive more than he had, because all that the Father had was already his, and all that the Father hath is already yours. Ah, you declare that. You affirm that in your treatment. All that the Father hath is mine, and then continue praying for more, or treating for supply, or treating for understanding, or friendship, or companionship, after you have already declared that all that the Father hath is mine. Is there any other treatment necessary after you have realized your divine sonship? Is there any other treatment necessary after you have affirmed your relationship in God? No. There is only one thing then: standing in truth, standing fast in truth, standing steadfastly in truth, remaining faithful in the understanding of the truth you have received. In some of our classes, we have practiced an exercise that really was the start of my understanding of what is now the message of the infinite way, although it began all the way back in 1933, long before the realization of the infinite way came to a head. Nevertheless, this was what started the entire unfoldment. And I'm sure it will be helpful to you. So I'm going to ask you to follow me in this exercise, but do it slowly, do it carefully, and not in the manner merely of accepting what I say, but more in the manner of understanding it and catching the import of it as you go along. I'm going to ask you now to look down at your feet. And ask yourself, am I down there? Is that me down there? Slowly, carefully, quietly, see if you believe that you are down there, and that is you down there in those feet. Or does it seem more logically true to you that those feet are yours and not you. Very carefully. Are those feet yours or are they you? And as soon as the answer comes to you, travel up to your knees and stop there a while and ask yourself, is that me? Am I there? Or are these also mine? Am I down there, or are they mine? Do they belong to me, or are they me? And travel up to your waist. And again see if you find yourself there, or if you find all that to be yours and not you. And up to the neck. And see if you can discover yourself there. Are you anywhere between the neck and the toes? Or would you say that all of that is yours? Is this me, or is this mine? Is this body me, or is this body mine? Am I in this body? What part of this body am I in? Where am I located in this body? Or is this body mine, all mine? And go right on then up to the topmost tip of the hair on the head, and ask yourself again, is this me, or is this mine? And then travel all the way from the top of the head to the tip of the toes, and from the tip of the toes to the top of the head, and ask yourself if you have discovered yourself anywhere within that distance, within that space. Is all of this body me, or is all this body mine? Is this my body, or is this body me? Satisfy yourself. Don't accept my word. Satisfy yourself. See if you can find yourself anywhere in the body. And if you haven't found yourself there, the next logical question must be, well then, where am I? Where am I if I haven't discovered myself between the head and the toes? Then where am I? And who am I? And what am I? Are we anywhere between the head and the toes? Is that me, or is that mine? And you see that once you have caught even a glimpse of the fact that this isn't me, this is all mine, don't you see how clear it must be that I am not body, and that I am not in the body? And now what about I? Who is this I? What is this I? And who is this me? If you could study comparative religion all down through the ages, it would only take you 1 second to remember that every revelator of spiritual truth has said that I am I. I am He. I am is God. I is God. I am divine. I am true being, real being, eternal being. I is the only God there is. I am come that ye might be fulfilled. Are there any other gods before me? No, I am the only God. If you walk through the waters, I will go with you. The waters, you will not drown, because I will go with you. That I is your real being. That is the divinity of your being. I is the one infinite, eternal ego. I is that of which the Master revealed, I am the way, I am the truth, I am life eternal. The bread, the wine, the water. I is not body. I is not limitation. I is not confined in a body. I is, Moses revealed, I am that I am. The Master repeated, I am that I am. Hast thou been with me so long, and hast not known? Thou seest me. Thou seest the Father that sent me, for I and the Father are one. That I, which you have not discovered in your body, that I, which you have discovered, is not your body. That I is one with God. That is the part of you that is one with God. I and the Father are one. That is why all that the Father hath is mine. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Why? The me is God. And I am one with God, at one with God, in tune with the infinite. I and the Father are one, and all that the Father hath is mine. And the place whereon thou standest is holy ground. Why? Because you are standing there, or because God is standing there? Because God is standing there. And I and the Father are both standing there. Since I and the Father are one, not two, just one. I and the Father are one. Now just think. If I and the Father are one, and I am seeking supply, what's funny? What could be funnier than that? What could be more ridiculous than I, which am one with the Father, and upon whom the Father hath bestowed all that he hath through heirship, that I should be out seeking health, wealth, supply, employment? Would it not be better, rather than seek, to remain and realize, oh, I already am. I already am in divine consciousness. I already am in the Father's house. The Father's house is already my home. The Father's kingdom is my kingdom. I am the divine Son. I wear the royal robe of divine sonship and the jeweled ring of authority, of dominion over all that is. Shall I seek for good as a beggar when I'm joint heir with Christ to all there is? Do you remember that in the New Jerusalem? As a beggar have I sought thee, and now I discover that I am joint heir to all that the Father hath. Do you see why tonight our roaming and wandering is finished? A new name we have received, divine sonship. A new dimension in which we find ourselves to be fulfillment, fulfilled with all that the Father hath. No more to search, no more to seek, no more to roam, no more to wander. I am home in thee. But you see, the shoulders must relax. A sense of peace must come That realization must come. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. All that the Father has is mine. All that God is, I am. I am home in thee. This brings us again to this other step. Shall we now seek love from anyone, or gratitude, or cooperation, or shall we be the one to say, no, I will give these, I will express these, I will let these flow forth from me. You see, in this new name, in this new identity, new, old, reestablished. Because remember, it is your original name and your original home. Originally, you were of your father's house. The Adam dream, human existence, only began when that sense of separation came up. That sense of separate I-ness. The I who had to earn a living, the I who had to be self-supporting, the I who had to get out and do for itself. When that sense of I sprang up, that is when the prodigal existence began. But this isn't a new name in the sense that it isn't your own original name. It is no new relationship that is being given to you by the infinite way. It is your real relationship being disclosed to you again, once again, after the many, many, many times it has been revealed in the history of the world. Why do you think it has been lost? Because this has been revealed before. It is being revealed again now in the message of the infinite way, and I can almost promise you that if we are not careful, it will be lost again. And for the same reason that it has been lost before. Somebody may try to organize it. And then when they do, and you are a member of it, and somebody says, well, what do you believe? And then you go around saying, I am Christ. And you see, that will end it again. That will bring down upon it and upon you the hatred and the anathema of the world. Because again, you will be walking around declaring, proselyting, seeking a membership on the basis that I am the Son of God, or I am Christ. And again, I say to you, it isn't true. It is only true when the fingers are on your lips and in the silence you breathe. Ah, thank you, Father. I am home in thee. I am one with God. The moment it crosses your lips in words, the moment you write it to someone, that moment it isn't true. That moment it isn't power. That moment it isn't vital. That is why you don't find such statements in the writings of the infinite way. It reveals all this, but it doesn't say so. It reveals it all. It's there between the lines. If you have ears that hear, and if you have eyes that see, you will find every bit of this. But you won't hear, you won't see it saying, you will read it, I am God, or I am Christ. No, no, no. 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 You will read God revealing itself, the Christ revealing itself as I am, but only in the secret inner place of your being can you realize your divine sonship. Then when people see this robe and ring on you, they will say, you have something. How will they see this robe on you and this ring, since no one is going to vest you with an external robe and an external ring? But because you know your true identity, because you have broken down the barrier that separates you from your divine sonship, that robe and ring will be visible in the manner of your walking, in the manner of your smiling, in the manner of your living, in your so very evident lack of concern for tomorrow and tomorrow's manner and tomorrow's safety and tomorrow's security. Those who live and move and have their being in the first verse of the 91st Psalm have no concern about tomorrow's manner or safety or security or freedom. No. And the reason is hidden manna. If you attain your spiritual freedom, not even a dictator can take away your external freedom. That is this my peace again. If you receive your freedom merely because it is a part of a document called the Constitution of the United States or a Bill of Rights, never forget that as man wrote that document, man can cancel that document, and then what becomes of your freedom? But if you attain your freedom in Christ, no man can violate your Christhood. No man can take from you a God-given freedom any more than any man can take from you a God-given peace. You see why I said that? This inner peace no man can take from you, because that kingdom endures forever. And that inner peace will make for your outer harmony. And so it is with the word freedom. Do you want physical freedom of body, of health, and physical freedom of supply and of wealth? Do you want physical freedom and what we call liberty, economic and political liberty? You may have them. You may have them in two ways. You may fight for them, work for them, strive for them in the external realm, and you may get them, keep them for a while, and lose them again. Or you may realize them within as part of your being by right of divine sonship. Then no man can take from you any part of your kingdom.